It's Saturday, and as you can see, I'm on the operating table and working out a little problem that I discovered when I bought this thing and initially, this beautiful F-22, initially took it apart, and my friend teased me about it in the videos. Okay, so let me just show you what I'm dealing with. Of course, don't look at my solution just yet. Let's look at the problem. Okay, so these two halves screw together respectively through here and here, which you can get a long screwdriver and reach this screw. Okay, and so that's what I was able to do. So when I got it, when I got the bird, okay, it had this screw in, this screw, and that screw. And what I discovered was the poor guy was up against an incredible puzzle, which I can't solve either. Just had these screws just sitting there, and they weren't screwed in. And I said, I'll have to come up with a different solution. And my friend teased me. He's like, hey, there's an Allen wrench. But I just want to show you why there is no Allen wrench that's fitting in there without cutting a big hatch in the fuselage. So that rattling noise is the fuel tanks. I've been working on the fuel system. But let me just set these in here for a second and show you just how impossible this is. So these tanks go in here, and the only way to get these tanks in is literally to have this fuselage split in half. Okay, so they go in there, right? And before I already drilled the hole out, but before I drilled this out, someone was supposed to somehow get a screw in there, right? And tightened up. Now you see I have my hand reached around through there, but once you put these halves together, you see that little vent, right? See the vent? And seriously in the way. Okay. Put these two halves together. Oh, yeah, there we go. You aren't reaching in there in front of that fuel tank and tightening that screw. I mean, I can't fit. There's just no way to fit my hand in there to tighten it. Not in any way that. I mean, I think that can be done. I feel it. There's some room in there, but it's just dumb. Okay, so it's a simpler fix. Makes it easier. Oops, sorry about the hand in front of the camera. So what I did is I got these babies. Okay, well, this is one piece. I just cut it in half, and then I drilled out that hole really tight. I'll glue that in. I'll shorten them too, but I just left them long, and I'll glue that. Glue that in. This just makes it simpler, you know. I mean, could I actually get my hand in there with an Allen key? Yeah, I probably could. It's not ideal. What I really want to do is not do that because it's a pain. And you know what? And if you ever have to take it apart, it'll take you 20 minutes just to undo one screw. And so, as you can see, there's matching holes. Put that little fuel line down. Those fuel lines will go. That's the vent. That's the vent line right there. I haven't decided whether I should run that vent over the top of that thrust tube or the intake tube or under, but I'm kind of leaning towards under. That way it's all just kind of down there. So, anyway, so you see they just line up. All right. Let me get that out of there. Okay. There, just went in. So you can see that one in there. Well, it's not. It's over the hole. There we go. Now it's in the hole. So they're lined up, and these little brackets, they'll slide through there, and you put a screw that's just a little bit smaller than that hole that gives a little room to play. And there'll be one little tiny hole in the bottom of the fuselage, and boom, I'll tighten, and that will secure the bottom. So it was really easy to do, didn't take very long. A little bit of high saw to set those rods in place. I'll shorten them. There's no reason to carry a bunch of extra material around. What I really don't like is that you got all this area right here behind this thing where you could have equipment and no way to get to it. So if I run out of space, I might cut a hatch right here. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. I don't really want to cut it. It's so beautiful. You know. So anyway, that's what's going on today. So hope you guys enjoy. Talk to you later. Here's the progress. You see, I've got the lugs bolted in. I'm gonna have to take and just you can't really see it there. Just cut that off. Push a little bit of the fiberglass forward, and just hit it with a sander. I pre-drilled these, and I forced these in just by the wood screw, but I forgot I had this thing. Everybody should have one of these. So that's the hard way, that's the smart way. One of the things that these holes are oversized in here, and there's washers on them. You want a little bit of play. I don't know if you can see it. You want a little bit of play in that lug there, so when you're mating them up, it can shift just a little bit. You can see a little bit there. See that? So anyway, that's it, man. So just modernizing this beautiful F-22. And honestly, like, I'll put this together and it may never come apart, but this is, when I get ready to assemble it, it took a few more minutes to do, but it just makes it so much easier. I'm not in there trying to crank with an Allen wrench and you know, get all that lined up. These two pieces will be perfectly aligned. Once I glue them in there, everything will just mate up. And then there's some little holes I drilled in the bottom. You can barely see it there. And there. That gives me access to tighten the lug. And boom. So just another step in the journey. Thanks guys for watching. Talk to you later. Okay, the halves are mated together, and the epoxy is curing. You can see down in there the deal. I decided not to cut the dowels down shorter because I just wasn't sure what I needed and didn't need, and I didn't want to make it too short. So I can always go back and grind that back piece off if I want to. But they're glued in. They're not bolted down. That doesn't work very well, doesn't it, folks? There we go. They're not bolted down. I really need to get like a GoPro, because you guys gotta see you miss all the stupid crap I do in between the times when I take the video, which you know, I can laugh at myself, and I'm certain that it will be entertaining for others. But anyway, I don't know why I'm showing that. But yeah, so maybe someday a GoPro. But there they are, the halves are mated. That epoxy will cure. And the theory is that once that's done and I take out this screw here, that they will slide apart. We shall see. To be continued. Alright, the glue has cured, and this is the big wheel to see if this all worked out the way I planned. And let's see what happens. If I can, I've got to hold the phone and see if I can get this. I'm gonna have to pause it. Let's see. There it is. Okay, let's get this top screw out. See, it's opening up. Everything went right. It should slide apart. And that will be that part. Phase 1, 2, 3, I don't know. That aspect will be completed. We'll move on to the next. Okay, there's our screw. And here comes the front piece. We're gonna put my elbow on it. Let's see, pull it apart. There might be a little glue sticking in there. Let's see, let me pause it for a second. Okay, well that took 2 hands, but as you can see, it came apart. And so all those 2 little rods will line up. I'll screw it together and the bottom part will be locked down. So it was a fun little project, little adventure. So now I'm clear. I can put my fuel tanks in. I can slide these parts together, lock the bottom in place with no no hand in here blindly trying to get around those fuel tanks. So nice little fix for just a weird design issue. But now that's done, so onward and upwards on to the next project.